I will start with Dr. Heba Nassar and then you. First of all, I would like to thank you, Dr. Abla. This is a very important issue. I'm very happy that you tackled this issue concerning the freelance. You tackled the computer. Concerning India and Egypt, those working on computers, through computers, sometimes they are not only freelance, but actually it is a contract. The nature of the job to improve systems for the banks, there is a kind of contract. So here we would like to differentiate between the freelance or online job, because there are lots of the Indian that they work virtually with the Gulf countries, but this is a work, this is a job. We have to differentiate through criteria and standards. This is not a long-term contract. For example, there is a person that he has a long-term contract like 5 years. There are lots of advantages concerning these contracts. I passed through this. So here I have to differentiate between the absolute freelance, short terms and others to set the specific period of time, and the one that he already has an online contract, especially in the field of technology with bank and with others. The other point, here we tackled computer. If we talk about freelance, we can tackle landscaping, lawyers, online doctors. My daughter, she take medical sessions with someone in England. So we have to differentiate between the online work and the absolute freelance. The definitions should be clear and specified. Have engineers that they work with Dubai, with Saudi Arabia, and they are at home. So what kind of contract do they have? Training. We conduct training courses while we are at home. Care reviews for studies. It's a very wide, vast field. And computer electronics, it might be a long-term contract, and it is not a freelance. Then regulation for the freelance. I'm not going to tackle the online work. The regulation. Ask the freelancer if he would like to join this regulation or not. If you talked about social insurance, he will tell you, no, thank you, bye-bye. I'm here interfering with the government. The freelancer, how to protect yourself. Have a contract, have a platform, make your insurance by yourself. Register everything. He is protecting himself by himself. Register all your steps that you're making, security codes, things like that. Personal protection. Thank you so much. Good morning. My name is Mario Bardisi, member of the commercial chambers in Egypt. Thank you so much, especially Dr. Abla, for inviting me. Actually, I would like to refer to 3 points and a suggestion or a recommendation. First of all, I'm talking about training for employment, because I have the academy in the commercial chamber in Cairo. We conduct training courses through a protocol with the funding institution, either if he is a fresh graduate or a owner of a company that he would like to train his employees. He will submit a letter to the commercial chamber to train the workers, and this is for free. He will only pay for the certificate, and this certificate is accredited from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is very important. The other point is, I saw in the presentation the accountants and the lawyers. because, for example, we are talking about sustainable development, and for sure you conduct with the cooperation with the CIB. And I attended with you many conferences. So here I'm talking about a very important point, training the accountants with the quality institution, which is 96 hours. I don't want listing, please. I want your recommendation, your specific recommendation. The accountant should be aware to take 96 hours as a training course. Because we have here the sustainable development and companies that they share their that they submit their shares in the stock. Also for the private sector to issue their classification certificate. I need the specific recommendation. Your recommendation, please. To conduct a conference for training the employees. I would like to address the Supreme Council for the women and North Sinai Governorate. Thank you so much, Dr. Abla, for this kind invitation and this very important issue that we are tackling. My name is Makram Radwan. I am a professor in the Faculty of Medicine and a member of the Parliament. This is a national security for us. And maybe I'm going to tackle 3 important points. First of all, providing job opportunities, increasing the awareness of the fresh graduates, locally and internationally. This will start in the university. We have the university graduate and the graduates of the technical schools. He is not aware of managing his skills or even what he studied in the university. I am a graduate at the end and he doesn't know how to manage himself. We have business administration, that it is a science that should be studied in all the faculties, Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Agriculture. If I tell the graduate of the Faculty of Agriculture that you have many opportunities in order to prove yourself, he is not aware about this. The other point is the information. We have lack in information in providing the information to the Egyptian citizen. I was asking the Ministry of Migration, what is your role in providing training courses and providing job opportunities in the developed countries? They said, they answered nothing. They said we have 600,000 job opportunities for technical opportunities in Germany. Why this is not announced? Why you did not conduct a future action plan? I think this is a very important issue. The third point is the protection for the freelancer. This is a very important point. Because in the concept of the Egyptian citizen that the freelance job will not provide him the protection. Thank you. Dr. Ahmed. In the name of God, Almighty, All Merciful, Ahmed Essawi. Actually, with all this precious information, this huge amount of information, for sure, there are many people that they are going to work on this in order to reach the implementation phase. Do we need a national project for the freelancers in Egypt? Do we need a strategy? Actually, I don't like the word strategy and the word national project, because this is a huge issue. And the governmental entity that is responsible for closing the gap between Egypt and India is very important. Is it only training done by the Ministry of Communication? to close this gap. Concerning training on the other entities like banking and tourism, industrial sector, this is very important for whomever is responsible. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Adel Sabri. Thank you. My name is Adel Sabri. I am a journalist. At the beginning, you referred to the drawback in the jobs in Egypt, in all the sectors. Unfortunately, we see a contradiction in the information and in the data from the governmental side. They are talking about reducing the unemployment rate. And there is no employment in the governmental sectors. What solve this contradiction? And why do we have this huge amount of information and data from the governmental entities? I would like to share another point to Dr. Ibrahim. I have 4 daughters. They are engineers. Unfortunately, they are not employed. They are different specifications. One of them, she has her master's. Because they are unemployed, they work with international companies. But actually, the psychological aspect is very important. My elder daughter, she needs psychological help and support because of the daily pressure that she cannot co-op with a job. Sometimes she got jobs when her husband is off. She has lots of pressure. She feels unstable, unsecured. And they ask her for long working hours, telling her, for example, this project should finish after 12 hours or whatsoever. So, this is a big problem. She's trying to work very hard. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am an expert in the field of information and data. I'm very happy about this presentation. Or those who took training courses and they were up to our expectations. What I mean that there are lots of effort that we have very good outcomes and results, and that they help to have positive outcomes from the governmental initiatives. When you did the comparison between Egypt and India, there is what we call the stereotype. In the USA and in Europe, those working in the IT, the technical support, they are Indian labor. So we have 2 types, the stereotype and the strategic partnership. The India did strategic partnership with many countries, especially in South Asia, in order to reduce the productivity cost in the field of technology. In order to penetrate this market, in addition to training, we should have this idea of the strategic partnership between Egypt and other companies and countries, especially that they are looking for opportunities to reduce the production cost. Concerning the market of the freelance, I see that especially with the increasement of the burdens on the companies, especially in the USA. So they are looking for alternatives to reduce their annual expenses, especially in the field of technology. Also, there is another important point. that the people working in the freelance in Egypt, they are looking forward to the next step. So the intermediate step is to be a contractor. In details, he is called 1099 contractor. He will get more stability. He will work more. This is for many companies in the USA and in Europe is a better solution than the freelance. Why? Because I work with him periodically, either daily or weekly. So there is a kind of a high connection. There is a freedom in the contract that I'm working with. So I don't have to be committed with other agreements offered by other websites. So this is another important point. Concerning to the contractor 1099, now we ask for a good internet service. Please send us this information. We are going to add it to our study and we are going to make a reference. Very important information. Thank you so much. Mrs. Manel, please. Good afternoon. We are always happy with the information that you provide. Let me tell you three things. First of all, I'm very happy that you took India as an example. The beginning of the 2000, we needed to do something sustainable. For some projects, we conduct a study. We found that India, they are conducting a supervisional study, and there is an institution that is changing the curriculum according to the demand of the labor work. The coming period, it needs, for example, artificial intelligence. So we are going to work on artificial intelligence. There is a kind of flexibility in education according to the demands of the future. As if, as long as we have a kind of knowing, expecting or predict what's going on in the future. I don't know, for example, the graduate of the Faculty of Art, what they are going to do. They are going to be teachers. That's all what I know, with all my due respect. But there are sectors in the universities that we don't know what is the career path. The other point, there is a website which is called ONET that each graduate will show the graduate what is the career path, what are the skills required. We don't have a website similar to this. We tried to cooperate with some of the ministries tackling the technical education and the higher education, the career path. For example, if I am graduated from the Faculty of Commerce, he will tell me, for example, you can work in 50 fields, but every field, these are the skills required, and this is the career path, and you can get the training course and the skills from where. That's what we want to do, actually. I conducted a similar study. I can sit with you and discuss it. The other point is pricing the services. We don't have this at all. It depends on our skills in negotiation. We don't have an online pricing list. Even in the for a plumber, for example, he will do his work with a different price, different fees. I don't have a price list to say that this service will cost so and so and so. Even in the jobs, I don't have a ceiling. You will find that a secretary will take £2,000, and in another company she will take like 20,000 Egyptian pounds, depending on what they set the salary. Internationally, there is what we call the salary survey. What I would like to tell you, you started a very good step, that you did a survey in the labor market. But we need this to be done on all the governorates, to have a mechanism that will adopt the Office of the Governor, the Ministry of Manpower, to have the same mechanism of the survey that is conducted. To have a map, I can support the future educational map, and to have a website for the youth to know what to do, where to go. Here we are talking about institutional reform, at least to have an association that is responsible to do this. I had a project with Takaful and Karama. We conducted surveys for all the labor markets. Yes, the demand is very weak. But here we have value chain in the handmade products and so on. So we start helping the people by the surveys. But at the end, we need information, we need data. So having an association in every governorate that will adopt the same mechanism in order to have a map for all the jobs all over Egypt. Lengthy, I'm so sorry. We need more information, and we need vocational orientation. Most of the people, they don't have the skills that will make him able to make this project successful. This is a good idea, the idea of the career path. We are trying to implement it. We don't want to make the whole sector unorganized. The idea is we are talking about the information. Our aim is to make it organized. Safe, please. Thank you very much, Dr. Abla and Ahmed, for this information. I'm curious to ask a question. The research is very good, is excellent. I have a question. The Egyptian companies, is there any information about the Egyptian companies that they hire foreigner workers on Upwork, for example, on this website to show? No. Oh, so this is an important point. The other question is, if we need to do anything like Upwork in Egypt. I know this kind of services like Fixawi and Fil Khidma, they do have problems, regulations problems, because of the taxes and the insurance and the laws. But if we want to do something like the Upwork, but in Egypt, what are the obstacles? Because I think that this is very profitable. The last two questions. أنس الصافي, البنك الأهلي. I want to ask a question which is related to procurement. And not only that the freelance is not an alternative for the institutional stable work in the employment mechanism. We do the institutions now are capable of to do a kind of scouting for those who are already have steps in the freelance, and they have a good rate and they have a good profile with the specific achievements that to say, for example, this is his profile on Upwork, or this is his CV on Upwork, and we can reach him through this and this and this. As Dr. Ibrahim said, they are always worried about the future. Is he going to work in the future or not? There is a percentage for sure that they would like to be under the institutional work, and they, if they have good technical skills, so they need the institutional commitment. That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Abla. Ahmed El Khatib, Technical Manager, Ministry of Communication. I would like to thank you on this valuable study. I think that in the Ministry of Communication, we are going to benefit from this study. I wanted to say that the effort of the Ministry of Communication is not clear. I'm not here to tell you about the effort. We never ever mentioned any initiative launched by any ministry. The idea that are we only initiatives in the Ministry of Communication? No, we do have a vision, a methodology that we need that need to be added in this study. You need to do another thing. What we need is to sit with Mrs. Ghada Labib to see what how we can benefit from each other, not to add your vision and that's it. Why we are here, why we are very keen to be here, to benefit from your vision. Okay, thank you so much. In the field of training and digital employment, recently the Ministry of Manpower told us that they have a strategy for training. I will tell you. In the Ministry of Communication, we have a pyramid strategy. Not only the fresh graduate, we start from the children. We launched a normal. We launched the initiative of أشبال مصر الرقمية, or the children of digital Egypt. It's our responsibility to provide you with the information and data. We are going to take the information and everything, but the idea is how to work. 2 points quickly. This field is a very important field, and it's an opportunity for Egypt, especially passing through these critical circumstances. We are not working only on the training, we are working on the ecosystem. If you have a problem in the internet, for example, the last point, please. In the ministry, we are trying to overcome the centralization of the digital employment. We have 7 governorates, and we are going to level up to 27 governorates. Thank you so much. Sorry for being lengthy. Thank you. Last intervention. Thank you so much. Fatih Sayegh, journalist. Thank you so much. I want an example to be applied in Egypt. I'm very surprised that we have 36 ministries. We have the Ministry of Manpower, Ministry of Communication, Ministry of Finance. Why don't we apply the experience of India in preparing the trainees? India penetrated the Egyptian banks in updating the technological system. Through the Indian embassy in Egypt, they conduct annual training programs for all the Egyptians in different fields. We have graduates from all over Egypt. If we set a target or a scholarship that the best one will get a job, this will be great. If we cooperate with the embassies in Egypt, as India is doing, this will be a very good example and will reduce the unemployment rate. Thank you so much. Yes, when we will deepen in understanding the Indian experience, actually the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has nothing to do with this, and the Ministry of Finance has nothing to do with this. It all has to do with the Ministry of Manpower and the Ministry of Communication. I just want to tell something, how to reduce the unemployment rate is related to the recruitment in the construction field, and it is not a reflection to what's going on in reality. Who are working here are laborers, temporary jobs. Even if the rate is getting better, we are not affected. Thank you. Thank you so much. I won't be lengthy. Sorry, thank you. I have nothing. A last comment. The freelance is an opportunity. Let's always think that it is an opportunity. We will try to encourage it, but providing the required protection either for the employer or the employee. And that's what we need to work on it in order to find such protection. Thank you. Thank you so much. The discussion was now focusing on the digital employment. This is part of a whole. employment in Egypt is not you and us. Actually, unemployment rate was high, but the real employment is with the problem is with the people with the low skills, that they work in very bad work condition without any protection at all. So this is the real problem that we have to focus on. The idea of that the percentage of unemployment is low, it's not important at all, because the poor man cannot stay without work. When you ask him, did you work 1 hour last week? Yes, he was cleaning the cars, washing the cars. But we still have the problem. That's the main problem. In addition, that there are women that they are withdrawing from the labor market. This is a deceivable issue. Don't be deceived with the low unemployment rate. The reality of the freelance work, or it is a kind of an dependent work relationship. It is someone working with an employer for a period of time. It is a dependent relationship. But this is a very important point. The Supreme Court in England said that the workers for Uber, they are in a work relationship, in dependent work relationship, that they deserve social protection, they deserve vacations and day offs. Spain also the same. We should know and identify what is the kind of work relation. It is a dependent work relationship. The material and the moral costs. These are issues that we have to focus on. It seems at the beginning that it's important to find a job for yourself and that's it, but there are lots of consequences. It's a mess without being organized. This is a very important issue. I think are the Egyptian companies, they hire any foreign employees? Yes, either in virtually, as Dr. Heba said, her daughter is taking a medical session abroad. Oh, thank you, Dr. Abla, for this important initiative. Lots of opportunities, but we have to be cautious to organize such opportunities for the benefit of the workers and for the benefit of the Egyptian economy, and to be cautious against virtual migration. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ahmed, please answer the question of SAFE. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Abla. Concerning the Egyptian companies that they do have platforms as Upwork, the two Arab platforms are a company called Hasub, established by a Syrian engineer, but it was established in the United Kingdom, and they provide services that you can register in order to get freelance jobs in the Arab countries, مستقل and خمسات. The other point, the number of, we mentioned, we gathered information about the web developers. We still have software development, mobile software developers from only one website from among 350 websites. And this is because we were committed by the time, 3 months, we weren't able to cover all the sectors. The other point is an international trend that we cannot prevent. It's very important to observe in order to know the improvement and the update by mean of time. And all the youth now with the low income, anyone that you're going to ask him in Egypt, for sure he would like to work freelance. It's very important to see this, and for the first time to see this clearly through the analysis that we did. This wasn't there before, it was only expectations. Thank you so much. For sure, this is a new subject. Not to observe what's happening in the world, we need it in the right content, in the right framework, how to work in better circumstances, because at the end it is the choice of the person. Because there is no alternative options. The definitions, we need to review the definitions. And for sure, our aim and our goal with the cooperation with the ILO and the Ministry of Communication, under the umbrella of Al Ahli Bank, we will try in the coming quarter to have more outcomes, more cooperation. Thank you so much. Thanks for the teamwork, for the research work in the ECES. Ahmed Dawood in the unit of information. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I would like to thank the podium for their great work. Thank you so much.